Hola, hola amigos, amigas, ¿cómo están? Filipo Beltrán, un placer saludarles. Gracias por acompañarnos en esta emisión de México Informa. Estamos en vivo y en directo en este viernes de información. Es viernes y el cuerpo lo sabe. Bueno, pues hizo tendencia el presidente de Ucrania, Zelensky, el día de hoy. Hubo una conferencia de prensa en la Casa Oval, en la Oficina Oval, allá en los Estados Unidos, y no todo salió como se esperaba. Incluso ya la Embajada de Rusia en México se mofa de esta actuación del presidente de Ucrania con el presidente Donald Trump y el vicepresidente. Una fuerte discusión. A las 6 de la tarde, 6:03 de la tarde, decían: miren nada más, la actuación de Zelensky se merece este meme de mi primera chamba. Bueno, pues es que es realmente increíble la actuación que tuvo este señor. Incluso, desde mi punto de vista, chequen lo que voy a decir. Creo que algunos comentarios con razón, pero no con inteligencia. Sabemos cómo es Donald Trump. Sabemos que se siente el salvador del mundo. Sabemos que él quiere decir: por mí va a haber paz en este planeta. Yo soy el intermediario para hablar con Putin y no tengo que odiarlo. Tal vez Zelensky lo odie, pero yo no tengo que odiarlo. Yo estoy aquí para buscar la paz, evitar la Tercera Guerra Mundial. Y ese ha sido el papel de Estados Unidos. Lo hemos visto en las películas, lo hemos visto en las series, y creo que lo quieren llevar a la percepción de algunas personas en el planeta. Sin embargo, pues al final Zelensky actúa con el hígado, no tiene cabeza fría. Fíjense la importancia de lo que dice la doctora Claudia Sheinbaum. Tenemos que actuar con cabeza fría, porque no podemos negar todo el apoyo que le ha dado Estados Unidos a Ucrania. Y entonces, pues te pones a Sansón con las patadas, bueno, las patadas con Sansón, y resulta que, pues sí, hubo una humillación. Mucha gente ve a Zelensky como un valiente, muchos lo ven como un bobo, porque al final fue un malagradecido desde el punto de vista del presidente y el vicepresidente. Y bueno, sin más preámbulo, lo que parecía ser una conferencia de prensa normal, como normalmente se dan allá en los Estados Unidos, pues resultó una serie de críticas para el presidente de Ucrania. Vamos a ver parte de la conferencia cuando estaba ya en su sesión de preguntas y respuestas. Todo iba normal. Pero bueno, vamos a analizar lo que sucedió de acuerdo a la BBC. Pues Trump acusó a Zelensky de jugar con la Tercera Guerra Mundial y de ser un malagradecido en una tensa reunión allá en la Casa Blanca que terminó sin la firma de un acuerdo que estaba previsto sobre el tema de los minerales. El presidente de Estados Unidos, Donald Trump, y su homólogo ucraniano, el señor Zelensky, protagonizaron este viernes un tenso intercambio sin precedentes. Ahí vemos que las preguntas eran pues normales. Las respuestas pues también iban en un sentido diplomático, pero todo se tensó cuando se habló de este tema, de la postura del presidente Trump entre Zelensky, ucraniano, y el caso de Vladimir Putin con el tema de Rusia. Y bueno, un portavoz de la Casa Blanca informó tras esta tensa reunión que se dio la cancelación de la rueda de prensa conjunta que deberían ofrecer Trump y Zelensky, y señaló que el acuerdo sobre los minerales entre los dos países no habría sido firmado. El presidente ucraniano abandonó la residencia del presidente estadounidense sin dar declaraciones. Vamos a ver la parte tensa, porque pues la otra parte se hablaron de muchas cosas. Fue una conferencia de 54 minutos y vamos a ver cuando se calentaron los ánimos y por qué razón, amigos, amigas.
Yes. Sure.
Mr. President, when did you last speak?
One more.
Mr. President, thank you.
Please,
Mr.
go ahead.
President, when did you last speak with President Putin, and what did he say that?
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good, and I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. He had to suffer through the Russia hoax. You know, Russia was a hoax. It was all Biden. It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do, is make deals. And I'm in the middle of a mess, because this is a real mess. It's a very dangerous one. If this doesn't get solved now, it's not going to get solved for a long time. So I hope we're going to get it solved. In the back, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Starmer claims repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring American companies to censor Americans on its behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco, and we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of the British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made in Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one that what unites us with Europe as much as anything else is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
Mr. President.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday, and I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President, on the deal, is there any other oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all critical?
A little bit. We'll see.
On LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We got a lot. We have more than anybody in the world, by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
Mr. President, I just wanted to ask you about, you just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you...
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay. And how was the latest call? And what did you discuss? How did it go?
Are you serious with that question?
I am. I'd love to know.
It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines, and in areas that Russia...
A very good question. Thank you so much.
Would you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest?
Well, we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about, so we'll take a look. I'll study that, and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interests? Would that be Ukrainian
They'll be
forces,
protected. The agreement will protect them.
US
The agreement,
forces?
yeah, we're signing an agreement. You know?
Right, but what if Russia tries to invade or orders Russian aggression in those spots?
I just told you I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people may wonder why...
You know, they ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous questions. Focus on surviving, because CNN's got such low ratings. I don't think they're going to survive. Let's go. Please, go ahead.
Since I already mentioned Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America. And for the good of the world, I'm aligned with the world. And I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question. Yeah, please.
I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014.
Well, 2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but,
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract, yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are not strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
I'm not playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
Yeah,
you're playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
It's back to you.
Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this
even
entire
today,
meeting, you said thank you.
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
the
said
stupid
thank you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and
voted
you men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this, I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
that
thank
there-
you
except
to
that-
American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on over here. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low on
know.
soldiers. Listen,
Please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look. If you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
it doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
that
what
wasn't
this
with me.
nation- it
That was
wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
But this
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make, because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
What
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thank you. Thanks. We'll see. I don't know.
Bueno, pues ahí lo tienen. Ahí lo tienen, amigos, amigas. Así culminó esa conferencia. Ahora entendemos lo que dice la presidenta. Cabeza fría, señoras y señores. Bueno, por supuesto siempre hay calificativos para esta conferencia. Iba relativamente bien, se habían hablado de otros temas, de esta colaboración. Y al final, pues el señor Zelensky le hace: ¿de qué diplomacia hablas? Pudiendo tener algo de razón, o sea, yo lo sostengo. Al final Estados Unidos habla mucho, pero sí, no te puedes poner al tú por tú, no puedes ofender a la gente que te está recibiendo en la Casa Blanca. Y ahora entendemos la importancia de la diplomacia, de la que habla la doctora Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo. Por supuesto, hay que tener cautela para hacer los acuerdos. Al final sabemos que Estados Unidos tiene el sartén por el mango en muchas cosas. Y lo que diferencia a la presidenta Claudia Sheinbaum es tener la cabeza fría y actuar inteligentemente. Y no actuar con el hígado, aunque tengas la razón en algunas cosas. La verdad que esto pues se ha salido de control. Obviamente ya es tendencia Zelensky desde hace muchas horas. Pero aquí quisimos compartirte las reacciones también de la gente en redes sociales. Por supuesto que hay gente de izquierda que incluso dice: ahí se ve que el señor Donald Trump no tiene amigos. Dice Marilena Sequeiro: aquí vemos que el orangután no tiene amigos ni respeta a nada ni a nadie. Su palabra es la ley. Con él no se puede llegar a acuerdos ni negociar nada. Zelensky llevó a su pueblo a una guerra para nada. Ahí está la reacción de la gente, del equipo de Zelensky. Vean la reacción del equipo de Zelensky. Cárgame. Esto ya se fue al carajo. Por supuesto que sí. Porque no supo negociar, porque fue a reclamarle a Estados Unidos en su propia casa. Y obviamente pues ellos no escuchan argumentos, ellos quieren tener la razón en todo. Ellos tienen el dinero, financiaron las armas, y al final pues sí dicen: mire, yo tengo el poder de hablar con los dos, yo tengo el poder de hablar con Putin, aunque tú lo odies, yo tengo que negociar esta paz mundial. Y esa es la postura que ha tenido Donald Trump en las últimas conferencias. Pero vean la reacción de la gente, de Zelensky. Atrás, su vocero, diciendo: ¿qué está pasando? Y el equipo también lamentándose sobre esta situación. Bueno, pues lo hecho está, amigos, amigas, no hay marcha atrás, no hubo acuerdo de minerales. Ahí incluso Donald Trump le toca el hombro diciéndole: no me faltes al respeto, no estás en posición para hacer estas afirmaciones. Como siempre, lo más importante es conocer su punto de vista, amigos, amigas. Es una noticia a nivel mundial que pues ya le dio la vuelta a todos los diarios, todos los medios, y no podemos dejar de compartírtelo. Así es como se llevan a cabo estas conferencias. Y vemos también la postura de Trump, ¿no? Diciéndole a la gente: ¿qué preguntas tan estúpidas? Hagan preguntas de verdad. O sea, ¿cuándo han visto a la doctora Sheinbaum hablarle así a la prensa? Les puede contestar fuertemente, pero nunca insulta a los reporteros. Y allá en Estados Unidos, pues vemos que sí, tratan así a la prensa como si fuera nadie. Y al final también le dieron su revolcada a Zelensky, que desde mi punto de vista no supo actuar diplomáticamente, amigos, amigas. Así las cosas. Bueno, la troleada de hoy, la troleada de esta noche es justamente, miren nada más. Esa imagen lo dice todo. ¿Qué está pasando? Uf. La troleada de esta tarde es lo que comentó la embajada rusa. Mi primera chamba, literalmente. Literalmente, así como el meme de mi primera chamba. Embajada de Rusia en México. Bueno. ¿Qué opinan ustedes al respecto, amigos, amigas? La imagen dice más que 1000 palabras. No hubo acuerdo y Zelensky se va a casa sin ganar absolutamente nada más que una humillación fuerte. Incluso con argumentos que desde mi punto de vista algunos tenían la razón. Pero no te puedes poner al tú por tú con la gente que te está pues dando esa ayuda por conveniencia. Sabemos que es por conveniencia, pero bueno, pues así las cosas. Se hizo tendencia y bueno, ya más adelante te estaremos compartiendo también lo lo que dio a conocer la doctora Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo. Hay que recordar que ella está de gira de trabajo, porque trabaja mucho la doctora. Y aquí también nos deja muy, pues muy al frente de todo esto, la importancia de la cabeza fría, amigos, amigas. La doctora Claudia Sheinbaum está gobernando bien nuestro país, aunque a los opositores no les guste. Hoy vimos esa gran respuesta por parte de la doctora Sheinbaum allá en el funeral de Estado, un funeral de Estado, recordando a Cuauhtémoc, a 500 años de su ejecución. Por cierto, también, hablando de la doctora Sheinbaum, hoy hubo un temblor que se sintió a la 1:39 de la tarde, acá en Morelos se sintió fuerte, y la doctora mandó un mensaje también por la tarde referente a este sismo. Dijo lo siguiente: el reporte indica que no hay afectaciones por el sismo magnitud 5.1 al sureste de Iguala, Guerrero, registrado a la 1:39 de este viernes. Continúan los recorridos para la evaluación de posibles daños. Pues ahí está, México te respalda, presidenta Claudia Sheinbaum, para que noten la diferencia entre alguien que sí sabe negociar y alguien que pues no lo sabe hacer del todo bien. Con esto nos despedimos, amigos, amigas. Agradecemos como siempre tu preferencia. Te invitamos a las redes sociales que aparecen en pantalla y te recordamos que un México informado siempre es un México mejor. Hasta pronto.